Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and we are underway from FedEx Field. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They'll start on the ground with Gibson. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Second down, Howell back to pass. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop. But when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the mass of bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. This rushing attack sure looks pretty effective here on this opening drive.
Yeah, they're finding gaps with very little problem right now. If this is going to consistently be this way throughout the game, there's going to be some adjustments made on the defensive side of the ball.
They'll throw on 1st down. Here's Howell. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. This defense for the Dolphins, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
This defense certainly has a lot to be proud of coming off of last week's game, because when you only give up 14 points in a contest, you give your team a great chance to win. The best defense in the league is usually going to average giving up 18, 19 points a game. So to be under that, a terrific achievement.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. It's a first down for Washington on a pickup of 11. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
On 1st down, right back to Gibson. And this time the yards won't come so easy, as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
And that's exactly what offenses try to avoid by using motion and throwing different formations up. They hate when he can draw a bead on the play, get a running start, and make a big play behind the line of scrimmage, as he did just there.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Once more, Gibson. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves him still needing 11 here on 3rd down. Howell throwing on 3rd down here. He gets it to Thomas. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down, and this has been a great opening drive. You know, at this point, they'd hate to settle for 3, but they've created a fresh set of downs and a 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. Gibson will struggle to get to the line of scrimmage as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. A loss of 2 there, second down.
Sometimes in the run game you can make the argument that quickness beats size. And how about the example right here?
From back at the 4, here's second and goal. Gibson again. And not a whole lot there as he'll get him down at about the 2. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
The Miami defense trying to keep him out. They haven't let him in yet. Can they hold again here on 3rd and goal? They'll try to run with Gibson. Yeah, this is going to depend on his spot, but I believe he might be a few inches short. They'll go. It's Gibson. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And on the opening drive of the ball game, the defense comes up with a goal line stand.
Here we go.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. Meanwhile, Tua's throw is taken in by Waddle. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17. They'll swing this complete out to Hill. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down at will. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Tariq Castro Fields who picked it. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Gibson toss right. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football. Now on 2nd and 13. Powell, and he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. And the Dolphins beef up the secondary here as they look to stop him on 3rd down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And the Commanders get out to a 3-0 lead. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal. And
anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Their second drive here, the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. That's caught. Waddle on the left side. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. The Commanders bringing out the nickel package on 3rd down. He'll get that one complete to Connor. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it. And that's going to make it 4th down. 4th down, Corliss Waitman now on to punt. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return on this one as that kicks out of bounds, so they'll start just outside of their own 30-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. Now they go play action with Howell. And this one too low.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Off play action. It's Howell. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Howell looking to throw again. He'll get this into the hands of Antonio Gibson. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 28. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A give up the middle to Gibson. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race. But how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Howell from the gun. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And a throw there going to be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Now we get to see the punter, Corliss Waitman. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Fielded at about the 28. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that,
down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, Washington. Jahan Dotson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. William Jackson with a pick. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. How about that being his 13th interception? Season tied for number 2 all time.
And when someone's having a season that fantastic, wouldn't you think you'd have a scouting report that says, don't throw in his area?
I don't think he's cared about the scouting reports all year.
Yeah, he's found a way to find the football. He's become a true ball magnet.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They run the toss now with Gibson. And he's got it down to the 28.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Howell. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's counter. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Second and 8 coming up. Tua setting up shop to throw again. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip-tap, got him down. But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a first down. They're just 1 yard. And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And who's got it? The defense does. They recover it in the end zone. That'll be a touchback, and the scoring opportunity turned away.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in. Scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
Here's Gibson to start the drive. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
From the 22, Powell. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
On second down, here's Gibson again. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll run with Gibson. And Gibson looking for some kind of opening, but he has none. They rally up to stop him short of the marker. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here's Tressway now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll have a Dolphins first down as the tackle made just shy of the 40.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. He'll take it past the 40 to the 41, 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked by Kendall Fuller. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. A give to Gibson running right. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Faking the handoff. Howell. Samuel bringing in the slant. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. They'll try and run for it. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Thought they might throw the football with a little chunk that they had remaining on 4th down, but they ran it, they got it.
And the reason they were able to get it done, He ran that play with conviction, didn't he? Understood he would get a little bit of help from his friends up front, but it was really on him to go ahead and make the power move and get it done, and that he did.
Throwing here, Howell. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Curtis Samuel there to make the grab. And the Commanders take advantage of the field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Oh, this is blocked. It's picked up, a live ball here, remember. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Well, times have definitely changed on the PAT, on the extra point, haven't they? A lot more effort goes into this play from both sides.
Yeah, because let's face it, a lot of time on extra points, the effort is not what it is when you're trying to block a field goal.
No doubt about it. Before, when the ball was snapped on the 2-yard line, it was really a virtual chip shot. Now everyone believes they can get to it and knock it away, and we know how crucial every point is. So the defensive guys, there's been a lot more time trying to get that done, which means there's more pressure on the offensive guys trying to kick it.
Steps to a hit, and the ball is out. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And good field position coming up here. The football at the 12-yard line.
Hey, I'm all about defense forcing plays and getting takeaways. But an interception and 2 fumbles in their last 3 offensive possessions.
Time to readjust?
Yeah, you can't just give all the credit to the defense on that. They've got to look in the mirror and take the blame themselves and figure out how to not do it anymore.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Straight ahead, Gibson. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
From the 7, it's 2nd and 5. A toss left side for Gibson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
So they've been unable to capitalize on a great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. From the gun on 3rd down, Howell throws the out route and completes it to Samuel. He's brought down after a pickup of 5, but he needed 8. 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Joey Slye on for a field goal of 22-yard attempt.
And the attempt at 3 will have to come from the other end of the field as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. This to make it a 3-score game late. Slye able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Their mini two-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And once again, the Commander defense stout against the run game. They drop him for a second straight play. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
In motion, Hill. And that is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Fourth down, 4th quarter. Here's Tua. He sets to fire deep. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. William Jackson with a pick. Well, I guess an interception at this point on 4th down is just as bad as an incomplete pass. Either way, the ball goes over the other side.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in this late in the game, and there's not a whole lot he can do there. And he winds up giving the ball away.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A handoff for Gibson. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
They'll go play action. Howell. Blitz coming, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though, and they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking for Dotson, and he's got him. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Sly able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side. In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. And they're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone on that offense knows it will sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
This would be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Over the middle, complete. It's Connor. And they work this out past the 25. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. Up past the 30, 2nd down coming up.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Give him 32 on the play. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the
and my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Cameron Curl. And the Commanders will take over here just shy of the 30. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll as they try to finish things off in this 4th quarter. And that current 5-game win streak looking like it's going to go to 6. That one looks like he'll throw here. And the defense, they get to Howell. He'll go down here. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd. Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you were probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball, safely, of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge 4th quarter stop? Third and long. Here's Howell. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he's going to be out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 62 yards. The thing that hurt on that play, the missed tackle, that allowed the extra yardage.
It's a matchup game in the NFL. You get the guy that you want isolated, have him miss a tackle, and off you go.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. With a play fake, and now here's how to throw it. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jerome Baker. I tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick 6? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11. And now they'll run it here off tackle. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. Hands it off out of the gun. And he's going to bowl his way into the end zone for the Dolphins score. A great play there. His 16th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
It's complete, so unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. A little clock management 101. Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd down, Howell back to pass. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Howell throwing on 3rd down here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So a victory here for the Commanders. Charles, for this losing side, their heads are hanging as they walk off the field today. And really, I mean, we know why. Those 3 turnovers by that offense, that's ultimately what doomed them.
And this is what coaches preach all the time to every team that we ever talk with. Taking care of the ball on offense, trying to take it away on defense. And let's face it, when you give it away 3 times in one game, you make it very difficult for your team to get the W.
So for the Commanders, they solidify their spot in the playoffs as they run their mark to 12-4 on the year.